Hey everyone, Dekzeh here with another narration for the CALLOUS Invitational. This is a winner's bracket matchup between Trickin and Hclat. Looking back at the first round, we had Hclat beating PK Leech, which came from the play-ins, and Trickin defeating McMigan, one of the all-time greats. So really excited for this one. Both players are just exciting to watch and really skilled. Let's just jump right through it, right? We see a Zapdos lead on Tyranitar, the most common lead matchup in all of ADVOU. We see a Thunderbolt and a Rock Slide, so we're just gonna see the Dekzeh trio follow up, right? Yes, that's Zapdug. It's not ideal to let your Zapdos die like that, but sometimes you just take the trade. This just presumes to me that it's some sort of weather change. If you're willing to trade your Zapdos for a Tyranitar like this, I just assume you're gonna wanna change the weather. You're gonna have like a Suicune, maybe a Moltres, maybe a Snorlax, stuff like that. That really appreciates the Sandstorm being gone. As we see a Jirachi, which is nothing of what I said. Okay. Fire Punch on the Skarmory and Roar revealing a Gengar. Interesting. So Trickin doesn't seem very bothered by this Skarmory at all, as we see a Will-O-Wisp onto Swampert by Hclat. Hclat probably seems to be running a pretty standard team, and we do see a Suicune. So, considering how aggressively Trickin traded the Zapdos for Tyranitar, we have to assume this is a Rain Dance, right? It doesn't go for it though, so maybe it isn't. Maybe it just has the weather change somewhere else. I don't know. We do see a Toxic Protect on the Swampert. It doesn't seem to be refreshed, or probably would have gone for it. We can also assume that this Gengar does not have a Grass move, otherwise it would not have switched out of the Swampert. And it's a Hydro Pump Suicune. Huh, interesting. So it's an offensive. And very lucky dodge there for Hclat. At 60... Oh, and another one. That's just unfortunate. That probably would have just killed Skarmory on the first one, and then Suicune would maybe have gotten another hit off, but instead the Skarmory got way healthier than it used to be, and we see it roaring out the Jirachi and a Claydoless. So already Trickin just doesn't have much of win conditions anymore, and well played. You know, stay on the Psyche, go Ging on the Rapid Spin, Will-O-Wisp the Claydol. Yeah, Hclat's just on top of the game. I mean, I'm not gonna discount his lucky dodges, but that's part of the game, right? You're just gonna play through it as much as you can. And this Gengar does have a Grass move, it Giga Drains the Claydol, so this Claydol is gonna be low enough that it's probably just not Rapid Spinning anymore. And we see Gengar switching on Gengar. I guess Trickin trying to preserve some health on the Claydol so that maybe he can spin later, and then maybe he could do something with the Jirachi in the late game. That has to be his hope here, right? But I don't think that's gonna work very well, because Hclat still has 2 unrevealed mons, which could be so much, right? I imagine something like Zapdos plus Blissey could be a thing here. But we'll see. We do see Hclat expecting the Grass move, goes Gengar onto Jirachi. If this Jirachi gets burned, it's probably game over. And, well, Trickin knows that, but instead the Gengar just goes for the Fire Punch. Maybe he just wants some damage on this Jirachi so that it finishes off with something else. So maybe something more aggressive than Zapdos Blissey. Maybe has a Dekzeh trio of his own. Maybe he has a Narrated. Something like that could work. As we see Hclat just sacrificing the Skarmory and revealing a Zapdos. Very threatening mon in this circumstance, and we do see the Dekzeh trio switching back in on a Protect. Well, Dekzeh trio doesn't like that the Zapdos has Protect. The Swampert is really low though, so Hclat doesn't really have good Rock Slide switchings, weirdly enough. Dekzeh trio locking himself into Rock Slide in this endgame could be threatening, but he just stays in on the Swampert? Am I missing something? I mean, I guess you can kind of assume that Hclat's last mon is not gonna die to a Dekzeh trio Rock Slide, but That Dekzeh trio looked like the only way Tricken could actually kill stuff. Right? I mean, I guess we'll see. Yeah, I just don't see how Tricken could win. Like, maybe Gengar, but Gengar is not beating the Zapdos unless he gets lucky freezes or crits. And we do see an Aerodactyl last, wow. The Claydol just being sacrificed on the HP flying. And the Jirachi is just not healthy enough, right? Maybe if Tricken gets every... What? Why? I mean, I get Tricken desperately just clicking Rapid Spin there, but why did the Hclat switch? You're not that upset if the Jirachi switches into an HP flying with spikes down, and it's so low already. But I guess you are kinda scared of the Jirachi? Maybe. Wow, but Tricken gets the spikes off, and now I can actually see the Jirachi doing something, so huge turn there. What moveset should the Zapdos even be? We now see Jirachi switching in on an HP Grass or Ice, we don't know yet, but it doesn't matter here. The Zapdos is faster. Oh, so... Yeah, the Zapdos being faster than Jirachi, this was never an issue. Huh. I mean, I'm not sure why Hclat switched out there and let Tricken get the Rapid Spin off, but in the end it doesn't matter. The Hydro Pump misses on Skarmory definitely matter. That was like, really bad for Tricken. But I also don't get why he was just so happy to trade down his Zapdos for Tyranitar. I was just expecting a weather change, and if that was the case, then the Suicune could have done a lot more work. But I guess it was offensive Suicune as well, so... I mean, cool team, I like the ideas here for sure. But I also just don't see the need for so aggressively trading down with Tyranitar with this squad. Well, luck breaks are always gonna be a part of Pokemon, and if you're playing this game, you kinda just have to deal with it. But without further ado, here's game 2, is still Tricken on the bottom, Hclat on the top, and we see a Salamence on Tyranitar leads. I'm not even gonna talk about this lead matchup, you guys know the meme, hopefully both switch out. Nope, Brick Break. Crits, did that crit matter? Is it a choice bender or not? We don't see leftover, so presumably choice band, so the crit didn't matter. And we see Gengar doubling into Fortress, but it's met by a Moltres. And we have a Moltres on Moltres matchup right now. So Hclat already on the back foot, losing his Bird resist that early, not ideal. And that choice band Salamence could be very threatening, spamming HP flying right now. And we see sub-toxic Moltres. Okay. I mean, that's cool. So something else will have to get toxic here. This Blissey is probably not beating this Moltres. Yeah, it just isn't, unless it has Heal Bell. We do see the Fortress is switch onto the Moltres, so well played by Tricken. But honestly, I think you'd rather get the Toxic off of the Moltres in that case, so... It was pretty free for Hclat to just Toxic there, right? What is the final move here? I'm confused about why Hclat switched out into Fortress instead of trying to get a Toxic on the switch. But... I guess we'll never know, and Tricken keeps pulling out those aggressive doubles, putting the pressure with Moltres against the Fortress, which is really good. We do see that Tricken's Moltres appear to be faster, and we do see a Swampert on Flamethrower. You are not happy to switch in a Swampert onto Moltres, I'll tell you that much. So what's the plan here? Gengar on the HP Grass? Yeah, this Moltres just looks like an insane threat. God damn. And this is just started, but already I can't agree with that. Even though we got the crit kill there, Moltres is just such a huge threat to this team. Why would you let your Moltres take that much damage? I mean, I guess you're still always killing Swampert, and we see the revealed Celebi, which, if Hclat send it here, we have to assume that it is max speed, and it's gonna be faster. We do see that Celebi takes 10 damage first, so it is faster. And yeah, like if that Moltres was just healthier, You had a full health Blissey to switch in on the Gengar and 1v1 it. Maybe he doesn't have Ice Beam. It's hard to say. We do see that it is an offensive Celebi, Calm Mind, HP Fire. Probably Psychic and Giga Drain. He gets some damage on his Skarmory and goes into Fortress. And doubles back to Celebi onto the Spikes. Probably expecting to catch the Moltres there if I had to guess. And do see another Calm Mind. So yeah, this looks like a winning matchup for Trickin, right? Unless this is a Baton Passer, which I doubt. And yeah, we do see Spikes, so maybe Hclat needs to catch the Moltres and explodes. He just goes for Spikes, so this Moltres will just get another kill right here. And Hclat decides to sacrifice his Moltres. And goes into Celebi. Do we see a Psychic this time? What we're expecting, a double to Fortress, probably trying to get those Spikes off the field. Maybe get some layers of his own. I don't know what's the idea there. We do see Moltres reaching back on the Rapid Spin. And I suppose now you sacrifice either Fortress or Swampert. Why? The Swampert just died to Flamethrower into HP Grass. You don't need to make that prediction. Do you just get the Moltres exploded here? Or hidden... What? I mean, I don't know what Trickin is doing there, that this Moltres just won the game. I guess he was trying to play around, pivoting Swampert into Flamethrower and then Celebi on the HP Grass. But you just always have that constantly winning matchup. That's insane to me. I mean, I think he still wins this. Maybe he doesn't if this is Baton Pass Celebi. I mean, I guess we'll see. The Skarmory has Protect, we have already seen that. We see an HP Fire and just gets a layer of Spikes. Okay, so presumably Trickin just has a way to deal with this Swampert in the back. And we're just gonna go into game 3, but this is a weird game. Like, why did he let the Moltres die? So we do see Swampert, last mon. We do see a sub. Oh, wow. Is this sub punch? If it has Ice Beam. Wow. It does have Ice Beam. So Trickin needs his last mon to beat this Swampert at all costs. I mean, just imagine how good it would be if you had a faster Pokemon with HP Grass in Moltres to actually kill this Swampert. So this probably doesn't have Earthquake, but it goes for the Ice Beam. And then Metal just goes for the Earthquake. Is he just going for the Freeze? I mean, I imagine so. Is that his best out though? Like, does he not have Hydro Pump or Surf? He does get the Freeze. What is this game? Is he like HP Bug maybe? I mean, I could see that. What? I guess we'll see his final move here, if it is a water move. It is Surf. I guess he is offensive enough. I suppose he's offensive enough that he just didn't want to Surf twice and be in range for Salaman's HP Flying. But wow, honestly, I just don't think Trickin played this game particularly well, because I mean, as early as turn 1, when that Tyranitar died, he could have applied so much pressure throwing out Choice Band HP Flyings from Salamence, but he never did. Instead, he kept trying to go Skarmory onto Celebi, and like Moltres on Fortress, and he let the Moltres get super low from a Gengar Thunderbolt. I guess maybe he doesn't have Ice Beam on Blissey, I don't know. But wow. What a turn back. I think Trickin definitely didn't play optimally here, but Hclat just played to his outs, getting that clutch Ice Beam Freeze. Insane play. So Hclat goes on into round 3. He's now 2-0, and Trickin drops down to loser's bracket. And I hope you guys enjoyed my narration. I'll be back for more later. Thanks for watching.